Raw and Uncut. This is the midnight check-in, and I hope you all are doing fine. I know it's a little bit past midnight, but I don't know what else to call it. I'm just feeling like I wanted to do a few reactions, but I'm not really in the energy. Kind of had a long day, went through some things, had some life-changing situations today. Let's just say that. And sometimes they kind of beat you up. Sometimes they kind of get you down. They try to get you down. But the key is to never stay down. The key is to always get up. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up, is what my grandpa and my dad always told me. So we always keep that in the back pocket. I always keep that close to my hip, close to my heart. And I live by that. But sometimes there are people, and there are things that can happen, and certain people can hurt you more than other folks, right? And they know that, and they take advantage of it. And it's not really the best thing to do to somebody who already has trust issues. You know what I'm saying? So when that happens, you just kind of give up because you've already seen that before, and you're not going to allow yourself to be dragged down that corridor, so to speak, down that walkway, down that hallway, down that tunnel. No, you're not going to pull me down that motherfucking rabbit hole. I'm not going in. I've already been there, been through it. I'm too old. So, we all go through it sometimes. We all go through it, some more than others. But I tell you what, people are just nuts nowadays. People are crazy. The things that they are putting in these drugs out here is crazy that people are still even attempting to do the drugs. Like, I'm glad I'm not a drug user, and I never really was like that. But the shit that they're throwing into these drugs now is not just the drug anymore. There's so many chemicals in there, and they're testing out. I believe that they're throwing certain things in some of this coke and meth and other stuff that's being smoked and snorted. And I think they're seeing what it does to people. That's what I think. And I don't think it's the good old stuff anymore. Can you find some good old stuff? Oh, of course you can. No doubt. But I'm thinking they're mixing in some synthetic stuff that's cooked up by them, and they got certain things in it that's making people really lose their shit, because this shit right here is just something different. It's something different that these people are on out here. And, hey, myself, I can't be around any people that are on drugs. Both of my brothers are sober. You know what I'm saying? Both of my brothers are sober, and I have a drink once in a while, a smoke here and there. And, my one brother, both brothers don't drink, but my one brother, he'll smoke some bud every now and again for his back. You know what I'm saying? But that's as far as it goes. But these guys they're not weak addicts. You got weak addicts and strong addicts, but it's hard for everybody, if that makes sense. And that's not a shot at nobody, but I've known all kind of addicts, right? Being a drug dealer, I've known all kind of addicts. There's different types. They're not all the same. And some people are functioning addicts. Some people are not. You know what I'm saying? Some people live like a normal ass life, and they got money, and they're still in shape and stuff, and they do that stuff on the weekends. And then there's some people that start out like that, and then they get hooked, and they go down into the dumps, and you see them a year, 2 years later, you don't even recognize them. So it's just sad to see what this stuff is doing to people and what it's been doing to people. So I was able to really connect with Tom's music, but I wasn't really telling you guys why. But if you see my passion in it and I can feel it, it's because I'm dealing with it with somebody that I was with, right? There's someone that I was planning on having a relationship with. Come to find out, they're on some shit, and it made sense why they're acting all crazy and why you can't talk to them, and it's everything pisses them off, and everything's offensive, and you're asking them if they're okay, and it's like, fuck you, leave me the fuck alone, get the fuck out my face. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Turning into like a fucking, like that's their manic face or some shit, like they're about to go psycho. And you see that, and you're like, whoa, dude. And as a person, as a man, you've done nothing to provoke that at all. You're just caring and asking and trying to make sure they're okay, because they're not. And the way that they respond to you is threatening you and yelling at you and throwing their hands up and all this weird shit. And I'm like, dude, I seen this with my brothers, dude. Like I didn't come out here for this. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't come out here for this. And that's just how I feel. And I know there's a lot of people that go through this and deal with addicts, right? They got brothers or sisters or whatever. And it's weird for me that I have so much problems with this person, right? Because I've known them for a long time and they're a beautiful person. But when they're on that stuff, they're just very, very ugly. It's the ugliest thing. It's a demon. It is a literal fucking demon. So when I discovered Tom's stuff, when I discovered God Mode, when it was presented to me, and then I reacted to that, and then I started digging into his music and getting to know the kind of stuff that he does, and he's so diverse and he's all over the place, right? He covers everything, and he does it in a very, very well articulated fashion. Excuse me, I need to take a sip right here of water because I'm just getting a little cotton mouth from this joint. But it's tough seeing people that you love go through that and you can't even help them. You can't stop them. There's nothing you can do for them. They have to want to do it for themselves. I've seen it with my brothers. I've seen it with homies. I've seen it with other motherfuckers that never pulled theirselves out of it, that are now dead, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And in their 40s and 50s and getting heart attacks and shit like that. It's fucked up. But these guys been doing dope for years. And it's sad. I said, man, I sold dope for about 20 years of my life, right? Worked my way up from the bottom all the way up. I got stories about how I came up, and it's the old-fashioned way. It's being brought in, it's being trained and taught the game, and working your way up from $45 to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And working your way up from dimes and nickels to slanging O's and halves and you know, I mean, shit like that. But the point of it is I'm like, damn, is this my karma as a drug dealer, you know? That the one person that really needs my help the most, that I'm offering my help to, but can't stay off that shit so they won't accept it, you know? And now you got to turn your back on them. You love them and you care for them, but you got to turn your back on them because they've already done this too many times. And when you turn your back on somebody that you love, it's the most coldest fucking shit ever. Because you're being pulled, you're like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, and you tell them, I don't want to do this, dude. And they're just like, I don't give a fuck. Who gives a fuck? Do it if you're going to do it. Quit fucking talking about it. And you're like, hey, dude, I command respect. Where the fuck you getting off talking to me like that? And it's just one of those things, man, that drug is an ugly fucking demon. It is a demon. It is the devil. It's Lucifer. It's Satan. It's whatever you want to call it. And it's sad. So I'm like, maybe it's my karma for all the drugs I sold for so many years, that someone this close to me that I would have those issues with, which I'm not used to having problems with like that with a partner. My thing was I would never date anyone on drugs or anyone that had an alcohol problem. I just usually, if they like to drink, that's cool. But if they like to drink till they get shit-faced, no, that's a red flag right there. Because every time a chick drinks to get shit-faced, usually there's some stuff that goes on that probably shouldn't go on, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes it can be bad episodes, sometimes it can be good, but I've seen my share. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with dudes. It's the same thing with dudes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not singling out the women. The same thing with dudes, right? And so it's just people just black out. I blacked out when I was younger, right? But as an adult, I haven't blacked out in a long time. So it's weird that I'm in this situation with this person when I never wanted to be with anyone like that. I wouldn't associate myself with them because I was so close to it in the streets, drug dealing, coming from the hood. I knew them. I never wanted to be with a female like that. I could never be attracted to a woman that did drugs. You feel me? And it's just my thing. It's like, nah, that's a big turnoff. I imagine it'd be a big turnoff for women too, looking for straight men and they're on drugs, right? It's just hard to deal with. But sometimes, you know, you already have a personal relationship with them before they did the drugs, and they started doing the drugs while you were with them, and then that's how you found out about them, and that's how the problems start, you know? So it's fucked up, but that's how I started to gravitate towards Tom's music really, really, really fast, because I started hearing more and more songs, and I'm like, wow, you know, I can relate to this shit. I can relate to everything. When he started talking about the stuff when he was depressed and, you know, then getting sober and all the thoughts and everything, like, I can relate to it because I felt that way at a time, but I can also relate to it because I'm looking at someone who's doing this shit to me, everything that Tom's talking about and portraying the visuals in his songs when he's talking about this stuff. I can see it. Like, I can see it in this person. So when I'm coming making these fucking reactions, I'm pissed because I'm realizing what the fuck this woman is doing and she thinks I can't see it. So when I'm reacting to these videos, there was a whole lot of energy built up. And then when I'm listening to Tom's stuff, it's like, wow, I'm going through this right now with a fucking significant other. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to come out and say that. And some people will be like, why are you saying it now? Because I just want you guys to understand how the universe works. I believe I was called to Tom's music. Because like I said before, I've seen Tom's screen still shots pass through YouTube from videos, whatever. Of course, because Tom's got millions and millions of views. And he's got millions and millions of fans, right? He's pretty popular, right? He does what he does. He's a good motherfucking lyricist and a good artist, right? He's a great artist. He's legendary. But you know, you see it and you're like, oh, he's got tattoos like Lil Wayne, and he, you know, kind of the imagery, the visual I got was like, oh, he looks like every other rapper, but he's a white dude. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to that. Me being finicky and an old school hip hopper, hell no, I'm not listening to that. Fuck that. But the homeboy Dragon turned me on to it. I listened to it because he told me, because he knew I would like it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it just, everything hit home. And then those songs and where Tom's getting real dark and shit, why that I couldn't finish that one, you know? I was telling you, oh man, I can't finish, it's getting too dark. I'm not on that energy. It's because I was dealing with it with this person in real time. In real fucking time. Think about that. Crazy, huh? Fucking crazy. So when I'm coming up here and I'm like, man, I know I was drawn. I was supposed to be here. I was sent to be here for whatever reason. I had to fucking discover this at this time while I was going through this. Well, I just ended the relationship a while ago. So that's what I was talking about. I had to walk away. And I've known this person for a long time. And they're very important to my life. Not in terms like, oh, I can't live without him, or I'm distraught, I need somebody. No. I just mean my life, and you can figure that out on your own. And it's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? That the drugs, they don't give a fuck the color of your skin. They don't care how tall, how short, how skinny, how big you are. They don't care nothing. They don't care anything. They do not discriminate at all. And they take on all comers, and they will gladly greet you in with the most beautifulest bullshit story ever. And that bullshit story is that the way you get high the first couple of times is the way you're going to be high every other time after that. Because after that first couple of hits, the first couple of whatever, you're just chasing that dragon, and you're never going to reach it. It's something that's not attainable after that. You're never going to get that same high anymore. So you're just playing yourself, right? And, you know, I did it in my own way back in the early 90s with cavies for a couple of months. Like, I kind of went down a little bit, got my car got fucking impounded. My Cutlass, I had spokes on it. Back in the, 93, 92. Anyways, I got pulled over. They repossessed it. Me and my not repossessed it, my bad. They fucking towed it. I wasn't buying it off somebody. I already had got it from a friend who actually gave it to me, and I fixed it up. I had told a story about that in another one of my videos. But, yeah, I was down because they took my car. I didn't have a license. The impound took it. I didn't have license or paperwork on it yet, and I put wheels on it and all kinds of shit like a dumbass, stupid-ass kid, right? And my cousin Fern was with me, so we were headed to the dope spot. We had a dope spot on Lewis, 2056 East Lewis. We had a dope spot right there. And we were up in there, and we had that motherfucker popping. Well, we walked up, and I had like about a half ounce on me to slang. I just picked my cousin up. I went to Carl's Jr., used the payphone to call for my fucking mahale, call for my work, let him know where I was going to be at, where to meet me at, and then So I don't want to call from my tia's house. Picked up my cousin for we went called at Carl's Jr. Then we were headed home. We got pulled over. They took my shit. We walked the rest of the way. When we got to the house, everyone else was smoking cav dogs, which is caviar, which is weed. You know, like a nice joint, a cool joint of weed with like a dime of crack. And they used to smoke those. In LA, they call them primos, right? In LA, they call them primos. Sorry, I've been letting this shit go. I didn't even really pay attention. I ain't even gonna edit that shit because I'm talking. But they call them primos, but they used to roll them with just coke. But over there we're from, they brought that from down from the Bay. Too Short and all them, the Grimmies. They call them Grimmies because they would throw a bunch of dope with a little string of weed on the bottom and be like a fucking toothpick with fucking nothing but dope in it. We didn't smoke that over here. We smoked cavies, which was more weed with a little bit of crack. So I was kind of hooked to that for a couple of months of my life when I lost my car. I went to the dope spot. We're selling dope. We're smoking. We're selling dope, smoking, making money. We're, you know, you're not out there in the street like a dope fiend looking for it. You know what I'm saying? You just got it. So you're fucking with it. You're young. And then it was just a phase. We went through it for a few months, and then it was kind of done, right? Some people got away from it. Other people didn't. But it was just a phase. And then, you know, I just seen why somebody could go to drugs, right? I could understand, but I never got hooked like that on some hard shit. You know, I never was out there fucked up like that, and it's fucked up, more fucked up when it's a woman going through it, right? Because, you know, they're probably out there doing all kinds of shit for that shit. And once, you know, you try not to look at somebody like that. You try to show them, you know, your best regard, and you're like, hey, man, I don't look at your past. I don't care. And, you know, I'm a real person. I treat people with respect, and I treat them how they should be treated, how I feel I should be treated, right? So, you know, you expect that in return, and when you don't get it, especially when you start dealing with that, yeah, you just kind of just, at the drop of a hat, you know what I'm saying? You just got to kind of call it quits. And that's what I did. In the middle of the motherfucking, the rant she was on, I just said, all right, I'm done. I'm cool. The fuck you mean you're cool? I'm cool. I ain't doing this shit. I'm too old for this shit. We ain't doing this. I would never ever even date somebody like this. And you think I'm gonna fucking be cool with it? Oh no, I'll stop. No, you already done this twice. It's 2 times. We ain't doing this no more. I'm sorry. You're disrespecting me, and then you want to raise your voice to me? Who the fuck you think you're talking to? I'm like, I'm a good dude. I treat you well, dude. I do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm dealing with this, and I don't have to deal with it. And I know there's many men and women that deal with this, right? And it's fucked up. But yeah, I figure like maybe it's my karma for all the dealing I did back in the days. And if it is, then I accept it, because we reap what we sow, right? And then I'm like, it's weird that I discovered Tom's music about a lot of this stuff while I'm going through this. And now it's done. It's the end, right, of that. So I feel weird because it happened so fast, but it needed to happen, because I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm better than that, and I'm not going to allow that shit in my life. I never wanted to date somebody before like that. Why would I do it now? I'm not on drugs. I'm not this. I'm not that. So I'm giving that person the respect. I expect that too. And it just sucks, man, that not everybody's on the same page. Not everybody's on the same frequency. Not everybody's on that vibration, on the higher vibration. A lot of people are trying to get on that higher vibration by getting intoxicated, and they think that that is the path to it, but it's not. The path to a higher vibration is living clean, cleaning out your body, cleaning your system, and cleaning your spirit. And with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. I just wanted to vent. I don't know. I might not even post this. I might post it. You know what I mean? Some people take this shit the wrong way. Some people take kindness for weakness, or they take openness for weakness. I'm just showing you guys what it is and what I'm going through, or what I was going through as I was reacting to Tom's stuff, and how everything tied in together, because it's just weird, right? And I had to tell you guys, keep it a buck. That's why Tom's shit hits me even more, like to my core, because I'm living it through someone else. You know what I'm saying? Raw and Uncut. Like, share, subscribe. Sorry the energy's not here tonight, but I'll be back with it tomorrow. I promise you, with a vengeance. Like we always do it about this time, leave a comment down in the comment section. God damn, I'm high as fuck. Thank you for watching. We out.